Hey, this is Tegan, one of the hosts of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast here on Public House Media.
Are you doing what really matters, or are you just reacting to the noise? Hello, welcome to Choose Your Rise. I'm so grateful that you've decided to push play today. Can you believe it? We are halfway through the year, July 1, 2020. And holy cow, it has been quite the ride already, right? Like, wouldn't you say that, we maybe set huge goals at the beginning of 2020 and then life has just hit, right? We've had a global pandemic. We've had all kinds of distractions. We've been shelter in place. We've been in work, out of work, kids home, not kids home, all the things, canceled vacations. And, you might have had these really big goals that you set for yourself back in January 1. And now you're just wondering, how the heck am I going to make it to these things? Or maybe you've completely given up on all of the goals all the way around. Or maybe you're one of those people that didn't even set anything in January 1. And now you're looking at everyone else and you're like, see, wouldn't have had them happen anyway. But today I want to talk to you about setting goals if you haven't yet set them, and revisiting those goals if you did set a whole bunch of goals in January. So I, like a lot of people, actually only 70% of Americans don't set a goal. Isn't that kind of crazy? 70% of people don't set a goal to reach in any sort of way. They just stay in their comfort zone. They stay in their routine. They just know what's happening and they just go with that instead of trying to push themselves to be stronger or better or improve life in any sort of way to reaching a kind of a goal, you could say. So I am part of those people that do set goals. I create a vision board in December. I sit down with my family. We talk about what it is that we want to do in the next year, what we want to achieve in the next year, how we want to feel, all of those kinds of things. And my kids do this on like a kid scale, and we as adults do this as an adult scale, and we kind of do it together as a family. Like, what kind of trips do we want to take? When do we want to go on these certain vacations? What do we want to have done with, certain goals? Like, we want to pay off our house so we can go to an acreage someday. And so a lot of people start with these huge goals, and a lot of reasons why people fail at their goals is because they're not intentional about checking in on them. They become wishes more than goals. And so if you don't check in on your progress and periodically, see where you're at in the process, you're eventually going to just fail at them because they're going to fall off your radar. They're going to fall off your plate. And so just like you would have a plan for that perfect route for your family vacation, I want you to be thinking about that plan and that route for your life as well. Okay. So if you're going to take some wrong turns, cool. Everyone goes the wrong direction once in a while. Sometimes you have to go on that roundabout to get back on the right road. But I want to help you today really learn how to refocus some of those goals, maybe redirect some of those goals, scratch off some of the things that are not going to happen that maybe were just too big, and then really refocus and get some new actions going for the next ones. So checking in on your goals is always a good idea, no matter what time of the year, whether it's midway through the year like it is now, or whether it's, daily or at the end of the month, the beginning of the month. We don't want your energy to kind of fizzle out and let things go. And so one great way to kind of get caught up back to your goals is to have them in front of you all the time. So I have a vision board that sits here on my desk with all the big things that are on here. But then I also have a to-do list right here in front of me on my calendar, and I kind of plan out some business things that I'm going to do at the very beginning of the month. I keep them right in front of me. I have my goals listed on my calendar. I have goals listed on sticky notes in front of me. I check in with an accountability partner, and those kinds of things are great for the in the now, in the daytime things. But when I look at the big goals on my paper, things like paying off our house debt, moving to an acreage, speaking on 5 stages, that's kind of happened a lot differently now that COVID's here. But like different checkpoints along the way, making a certain amount of income, being at a certain goal weight, or completing a certain amount of programs throughout the year. You can have actionable steps to help you reach those goals and making sure that you're on track to get there because you are checking in now, right? Okay, so when you are checking into a goal, I want to kind of think about here why it's regular check-ins are super important for goal setting. So one, it's a time for evaluating your progress. Check-ins give you that time to assess how far you've come and determine what steps you need to take. It's a time to weed out the unnecessary things. Kind of like sometimes we're super boastful about like all the things we want to achieve in a year, but then like we're super ambitious. But as we get going throughout the year, maybe we need to reevaluate. Maybe we need to reassess some of those goals and let some of those lower priority things kind of fall to the wayside so we can really focus in on the things that are going to have the biggest bang for our buck. That is going to help us get through the year a heck of a lot faster. And it's also time to course correct when you look at your goals. It's much easier to assess your goals as each month or even halfway through the year to see where you're at so that when you get to December, you're not like, whoa, where did the year go, right? And so see how much progress you've made so you can keep going through the process. So how often should you do a goal check-in? Well, there's no magical interval. I just sent a snippet to my clients today. I was talking about self-reflection and goal setting as a sense, but like really just looking at yourself as the month goes along, but even like daily check-ins, daily thoughts and processes, like asking yourself the kinds of questions that you're saying, like, what is this action getting me towards my goal? Like in the moment, like, is this eating this donut going to help me get to my fitness goal? What's brought me joy today? How present have I been in my life and my life roles? How grateful am I for whatever it might be? What am I grateful for? What steps do I need to take to right now, or what to-do list do I need to create for tomorrow that's going to help me achieve my goals that I'm at? So thinking about those kinds of questions on a daily process, but also looking at your bigger goals and creating action plans for them on a monthly or bi-monthly process works really well as well. So I kind of want to take you through a little kind of worksheet and be thinking about, now that you have those big goals, think about like, what is your goal? Write that down. Maybe you already have it written down someplace. Kind of rate yourself. How are you doing towards the progress? Like 1, I haven't really done anything, to 5, like I am rocking and on track to reach my goal. What ranking would you give yourself? And then what's going well with this goal? What are you doing currently that is getting you closer to it? Maybe those are more things that you continue to do in the process. Maybe what's not going well? What do I need to, where am I getting stuck? What can I do differently to improve? So if you are working on a really big goal, what's going well? What are things that if you can identify, kind of take that 30,000 foot view and look down at that goal, what is going really well and how can you continue to do those things, or maybe that are going really well right now that maybe need some tweaks to make them even better. And then what am I getting stuck at? Where am I not doing well in this goal? How can I improve? What action steps do I need to get going? And then maybe the goal just needs a refresh. So maybe you are saying like, I wanted to do 20 pounds this year, right? I want to lose 20 pounds. And so like you've maybe gotten to 5 and you're like, hey, that's not too bad. Like I'm not quite on track to reach my goal by the end of the year, but what can I tweak? Some things that are going well, like I'm moving my body every day, I'm drinking more water. One thing that I want to tweak, maybe a goal refresh would be, instead of losing the weight, maybe I want to tone up now instead. I can really work on moving my body daily, but adding lifting into my routine, or I can make sure I'm getting plenty of sleep so I'm not so puffy. I can make sure I'm improving my nutrition. And, maybe with COVID, that was a huge turn in the wind because you couldn't go out to eat anymore and you were forced to eat inside. But then set up some action steps that are going to help you reach that goal. So what is your goal that you want to do? How are you going to get there? And then what are some action steps that you can either take daily, weekly, monthly in order for you to reach that goal? And then go through that same process for each of the goals that are on your list. What is your goal? How are you doing in it? What's going well? What do I need to change, or how can I do to improve? Maybe I need to refresh that goal. And then what are some action steps to finish getting me to the end result as we go through it, the whole process? Hopefully you've been able to take some of these little check-ins, these little things. There's no like magic way to do it. It's just a matter of making sure you're checking in on a consistent basis, at least having a schedule, maybe an accountability partner that's going to help keep you going with these. Mark them on your calendar, put them in an alarm on your phone. Think about ways that you are going to make sure that your goals are always in sight. And because if you lose sight of your goals, you're going to lose the goal itself. And I don't want that to happen for you. I want you to go through 2020 as rocky and bumpy as it has been, and end the year feeling good about yourself, feeling good about your goals, feeling good about where you're going in life. Because when you can find joy in the moment, when you can feel good about who you are and what you're doing, and that you're fulfilling your purpose, you're going to have a lot more just enthusiasm for life and be able to show up as your best self as you go through it. So hopefully you're able to reflect on your progress, revise your goals as needed, and create some action steps in the coming months to reach your goals because of this podcast today. Thank you so much for joining in. If you love this show, please share with other people, tell other people about Choose to Rise, and come back here and let me know what's working for you and what you'd like to hear more of here on Choose to Rise. Thanks so much for joining us today, and I'll see you back here again next time.